Ben Goetz, Las Vegas Review-Journal. Riley, just what did you see from Daniil Miromanov tonight, especially on that second goal where you guys kind of executed that give and go in the offensive zone?
Yeah, you can see he's playing with a lot of confidence right now. And that's nice for a young player when you're able to jump into the puck on the back of the net. It makes a huge difference. So he had a big goal yesterday, and it kind of just rolled over the momentum into tonight. So it's good to see. It definitely helped us a lot tonight.
Jesse Grange with The Athletic for Jonathan. What can you tell us about Daniil? We haven't gotten to know him a lot. I guess what have you learned about him in camp? What kind of guy is he? What kind of player is he?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've noticed he has a really good shot. You've seen the goal yesterday, and he's been pretty good offensively. So I think he's a gifted player, and it's great to see him have a chance to play on our team. Obviously, we're lucky to have him, and I'm sure the management are happy to have him too.
Justin Emerson, Las Vegas Sun. John, Pete has kind of said after games that he hasn't been thrilled watching the games. Called the first one, I think, a slot fest. I guess just how do you feel about tonight in that regard? How do you guys kind of feel about how tight your game was?
I thought we were pretty good defensively. I think we limited a lot of chances. Obviously, LB was unbelievable tonight. I thought he was our best player out there. He saved us a few times, but I think defensively we played pretty well, and our breakouts were well, and it was able to generate some offense off it. So overall, I think our game was pretty good.
Anything else for these two? All right, thanks, Jonathan.
Justin Emerson, Las Vegas Sun. Daniil, you played forward in junior, right? I guess how much of those instincts kicked in over the last couple of games for you?
Of course, I always had it with me, and after I switched as well, I always try to work on my skill, my stick handling, my shot, and I just try to jump in when I see opening, say one more time, work on my instincts, and it was just lucky. And I mean, I said it last night, these guys are it's elite players. You just get open and you receive the puck. It's just easy.
Ben Goetz, Las Vegas Review-Journal. Laurent, you had a breakaway come at you about 30 seconds into the game. Did you kind of feel locked in from puck drop tonight?
Yeah. I mean, after you make a breakaway save, you're into it, and it's always nice. You don't want to see a breakaway first save usually, but since I made the save, I'll take it.
Darren and then Jesse.
Darren Millard, Vegas Golden Knights. Daniil, who talked to you about switching from forward, from defense to forward or forward to defense?
Yeah,
and why?
It was Igor Larionov. When I was probably 16, I went to train with him in Detroit, and he saw potential in me. It was probably the only one who saw that, and that's probably a reason why everyone calls him Professor. I mean, that's I'm here because of him and because he believed in me, and I owe him a lot because of that.
Jesse Grange with The Athletic for Daniil. Obviously, the offensive side, like you mentioned, the instincts kind of come. What have you been told? I guess things you need to work on to complete the games where you can play at this level and show those off.
Yeah, of course, defense first, because I'm a defenseman, and first my job is to shut down the attack, to get a transition from defense to offense, and then I can join and maybe help on the offense. But first of all, I gotta work on my defense, on my positioning, my stick work, my everything. We gotta keep working on it every day.
Steve.
Steve Clark, Vegas Hockey Now. Daniil, is it easier to play at this level because of the skilled people around you, and you can just kind of fit in without having to try to dominate?
I think so. I think the hardest thing is to get to the NHL, and I mean, I say it again, when you play with those guys, it's just everything comes by nature. You just gotta do the right thing, and puck will find you.
Sorry, David Shane, Las Vegas Review-Journal. Laurent, I know you weren't here obviously the first year, but can you maybe talk about some of the emotion from the pregame ceremony and just what that was like for the on the bench and in the locker room, maybe pregame?
Pregame of the first game?
I'm sorry, just the pregame ceremony tonight.
Yeah, no, it meant a lot. Whenever you can take a moment and think about some sacrifices and remembering people that have been lost, and in a cause like that, it's always a great thing for everyone to come together and think about things like that, and that was a special moment for the game tonight.
Justin.
Justin Emerson, Las Vegas Sun. Daniil, you're still fairly new to the organization. You had a couple of games last year. How important are these preseason games to you, just to play in front of the NHL coaches and kind of show what you can do?
Pretty important. Of course, it's like first 2 NHL games for me, and I came in late last season, played 11 games with Henderson, and we played the T-Mobile as well. So I got used to everything, and right now it was just on a goal, and it was just comfortable and get to know guys. It's awesome.
Anything else for these two? Awesome, thanks guys.
Pete, does Daniil look like a forward transition to defenseman out there?
Yeah, he's got a knack, doesn't he? It was, I think we had him playing on his offside the other night. He looked a little uncomfortable. Ryan McGill moved him to his proper side, his right side, and I think he scored, just about every period since then. So, talented guy, obviously offensively from the blue line in. I think he's still learning the position defensively at this level, but there's a lot to like there.
Pete, Alan Snell with
Hey, Alan.
LVSportsBiz.com. 4 years ago, I think October 1st, San Jose was in the building.
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember from that night 4 years ago, and now you're with Vegas? What did it mean tonight to have the remembrance?
Well, I just remember the shock and the sadness. I believe we found out as soon as we landed in San Jose. We took off. I think I had the times wrong the other day, but I think we took off. I think it was a 5 o'clock game. I think we left around 8 or 8:30, and I think it started at 9 or just after 9. So, having been that close to it, and I think I said earlier in the earlier press conference, if that's a regular season game and we're staying over to go somewhere else, there's a good chance we're at that concert or our players are at that concert. I know there was a lot of staff here that was talking about going to that concert that night, so it just scares the crap out of you, really. I thought it was a really nice tribute. I mean, right from day one, I think this organization has tried to do the right thing as far as remembering the people that we lost that day, and I think that's going to continue to be a part of what we do here every year.
Justin Emerson, Las Vegas Sun. You mentioned how you're NHL defenseman, you've kind of got your 7 guys, they're kind of set, but how much does the preseason, and I guess specifically a game like Daniil Miromanov's, kind of stick in your mind if and when you need to make a call to Henderson later in the season?
Well, what it does is, we've still got 3 exhibition games left, and we want to get as close to our lineup as we can for sure the last 2. So, you're down to 1 where you're going to give guys some real opportunities to look at again, and his play is going to warrant him getting another chance to play again. So I think that's what the goal is in training camp for all young defensemen and players, is to come in and make it so it's really tough for them not to take another look at you, and I think he's done that.
Steve Clark with Vegas Hockey Now. Pete, to that point, you played Nolan Patrick tonight with Dadonov and Pacioretty, and then you dropped him down and put Stevenson in. What were you looking to see out of Nolan? And it seems like he's still trying to find his way during the preseason. Is he?
I like big parts of Nolan's game tonight. I thought as the game went on, he got better. you know, the moving guys around. I didn't like our game the other night in Salt Lake, and I didn't like anybody. So, you know, the guys we put in tonight, we wanted to shuffle that deck a little bit, and other than Karlsson's line, and we did that. And I really liked Stevie tonight. I thought he was moving his feet and competing and doing a lot of the things that we expect him to do every night. So, and I thought actually when Patrick went with Janmark, and I thought that line got better. They got more dangerous, and they created some chances, and you know, so I mean, it wasn't a fact that we didn't like how he was playing. I think it was just we were trying some different things because it's that time of year and you can do that.
Jesse and Dave.
He does.
Jesse Granger, The Athletic IB. You mentioned Miromanov maybe warranting another look. What do you hope to see in him or in his game that can maybe build some trust for down the season when you could need to use him?
Well, I think like all young defensemen, it's you're not going to score every night, so it's defending. You know, you get stuck on the ice against Kopitar, can you survive and defend and you know, make the right play? And I think, you know, when you look at the evolution of White Cloud and Haig and Coughlin, you know, they've all offensive players at different points in their career, but they found a way to be trusted by the coaching staff, to be out there and relied on. And I think with him, he's no different. I think that's what he's got to get.
Dave Shane, Las Vegas Review-Journal. You mentioned the Karlsson line. I think the other night you kind of talked about, you know, they just said, okay, we're not going to lose this game, and tonight it looked like there were some moments where they just flipped the switch and said, okay, maybe just how encouraging, you know, at this stage preseason when you see that, you know, is that boding for the regular season?
I think I used the term that I think they're the conscience of our team. You know, like I said, I didn't like our effort last game. I didn't love our effort in game 1 against San Jose, and you know, I don't think it's an accident when those guys are in the lineup. You know, they drag people into that work ethic that you need in order to compete in this league. So they're an important part of our identity.
Patrick has the ability to, like on the first power play that he was out there, he was on the goal line, net front, moved over to the flank, and they kept the puck going, and then that created momentum and then Martin was able to cash in. How important is that Patrick can do all those things and build momentum?
Yeah, well, critical. I mean, that's what he does. That's where he's elite. And yeah, when we were talking about his game tonight, you know, I should have mentioned, you know, his impact on the power play, because when he is out there in the power play, good things are happening almost every time. So, you know, I think again, you know, we've talked about our approach with the power play. We're not gonna overreact to good or bad. You know, this is gonna be a season-long evaluation and playoffs too. But he's gonna be an important part of whether we have success there or not.
Thanks for your time, Pete.
Thank you.